Snake Island was accorded crucial and almost mythological importance in the conflict when Russia invaded Ukraine. Russia captured this ordinary protrusion of rock in the Black Sea, and it has since evolved into a crucial conflict. Putin's spectacular failure to capture Snake Island resulted in an embarrassment of casualties for the Russian military in what should have been a straightforward win. Watch the thrilling new video released today to learn how a few Ukrainian soldiers stood their ground in the face of a Russian vessel. The strategic importance of Snake Island. The island offers a stable base to execute military operations throughout a 600-kilometer-squared region. This comprises the Romanian east coast, stretches through Bucharest to southern Romania and Varna in Bulgaria. It also covers the northern beaches of Ukraine. Additionally, it controls the Danube's mouth, a crucial river connecting continental Europe to the Black Sea. All Black Sea shipping lanes that connect Ukraine to the rest of the globe are impacted by the island's military presence. This is especially significant since after Russia blocked Odessa and other Ukrainian ports, the Romanian port of Sulina served as a substitute shipping route for Ukrainian commodities. The rough ground hinders the construction of underground shelters, and the limited area of the island restricts the movement of deployed troops. However, the island has previously held military forces and is equipped to house surveillance technology and aerial and maritime denial systems. In addition to the Romanian ports and the Bosporus Strait, which provides access to the Mediterranean Sea, this crucial land platform is situated on the navigation corridor that links all Ukrainian ports from the Black Sea to the mouth of the Danube. In the event of a more significant battle with Russia, control of these sea lanes is vital to the security and prosperity of Europe. The fifth largest exporter of grains worldwide is Ukraine. In 2021, 7,626 ships and 107.18 million tons of cargo, including 81.99 million tons of export cargo, were handled by Ukrainian seaports in the Odessa region. The Russian blockade of ports on the Black Sea and the Sea of Azov caused an estimated daily cost to the Ukrainian economy of $170 million. Snake Island, a rocky outcrop in the Black Sea that has become a Ukraine war legend. More than ever, Snake Island holds a unique position in Ukrainian legend. Despite the winter winds, it is still firmly in Ukrainian hands. It is a bit of rock with both symbolic and strategic value. Since the island was reclaimed in June, a CNN team became the first foreign media to visit the area and speak with the operations leader. Snake Island, also known as Zmyny Island, is a small area of rock and grass that is difficult to access. It is located about 30 miles off the coast of Ukraine, close to its maritime boundary with Romania. It was challenging to get there, an hour spent being hurled from wave to wave in a small boat, doused in spray and below freezing temperatures. The Black Sea, as well as its dangerous coastline, can be harsh. Our dirigible boat became caught on a sandbar on the way back, and it took 6 hours for us to be transported one at a time to another vessel in the pitch black. With its few remaining structures reduced to shells and its partially submerged pier pummeling by the tide, Snake Island is today a barren area covered in wreckage. It is a graveyard for expensive military equipment, strewn with mines and unexploded weapons. You should be careful in this setting. The CNN crew observed at least 4 distinct types of landmines, Russian Pantsir surface-to-air missile systems, and a nearly complete Tor anti-air missile complex. There was also the destroyed body of a Russian military chopper. Numerous cats were rummaging around the debris in a bizarre image. These were likely the offspring of the lighthouse pets from a more tranquil era. Ukraine maintains a small military force on the island as an observation mission. One member of that detachment is actually a volunteer from Russia who serves with the Ukrainian military with the call sign Fortuna. He had been residing in Ukraine with his family, and now Russia is fighting us. We would fight back if another country attacked us. He claims that the Russians no longer conduct many attacks, at least not in this region of Ukraine. At this stage, the Russians only perform airstrikes, Fortuna told CNN, so we can hear them coming. An expression of defiance. As Ukraine battled Russian forces on numerous fronts in February, Snake Island fell within the first few days of the invasion. But before it did, one act of disobedience spread like wildfire, symbolizing Ukraine's tenacious resistance. One of the tiny detachments there reacted via radio to a Russian naval ordering them to surrender. Russian warship, go F yourself. Everything from t-shirts to postage stamps and street signs bore the same message. According to a member of the island's small detachment, it was a turning point that inspired people to fight and volunteer. The man who oversaw the attempt to drive the Russians off the island after they had been there for several months is not allowed to give his identity. As a military intelligence officer, he goes by the codename Shakespeare. "There are just 4 or 5 officers like me in Ukraine," he told CNN. "If I give any details, everybody will recognize me." However, he gave a thorough account of the strategy used to recover the island, effective by the end of June. When Russian positions were disclosed in May, many of the tough jobs were completed. Shakespeare observed, "It was all about choosing the right kind of artillery and combination of artillery. The Russians made a mistake in estimating we cannot reach them there. They thought we could only fire multiple rocket launchers at them, so they installed anti-air systems on the island. They were able to intercept our rockets, but we used complex strikes. They just lost manpower and lots of expensive vehicles for nothing. This was their main mistake." Before the Russians deployed electronic warfare tactics and air defenses on the island, the Ukrainians also used the Bayraktar drone that Turkey supplied. But the Russians had to send armaments from Sevastopol and Crimea to protect the island. And it was their second error, Shakespeare continued. This supply line was lengthy and exposed, making it vulnerable to anti-ship missiles fired by Ukraine. Shakespeare remembered the initial landing at the end of June following heavy damage to Russian fortifications. It was a unit from Special Ops Forces and deminers from the Marine Corps. Combat swimmers, divers, they checked the water for the mines. Then others could approach the island on the vessels. They came across a derelict scrapyard. There was nobody there. They left in a hurry, leaving behind ammunition and equipment. The tour facility was among those largely undamaged. Shakespeare said if they'd had the time, they'd have blown it up. The retaking of Snake Island served a strategic purpose and gave Ukrainian morale a tremendous boost. Controlling Snake Island allows you to control the mouth of the Danube. Without securing the island, signing the grain deal would have been impossible, Shakespeare said, referring to the UN-brokered grain initiative agreed upon in July that allowed Ukraine to restart exports through the Black Sea. The Russian retreat from Snake Island is a strategic win for Ukraine. The Russian withdrawal from Snake Island represents a tactical victory for Ukraine and a morale booster while resources are running low in the east, where Russia is attempting to annex more territory. Amid a violent and grueling battle in the east, where artillery exchanges and fluctuating control of strategically important terrain have yielded few recent triumphs, their retreat gave Ukraine much-needed morale support. Soon after the retreat, the Russian Defense Ministry also stated that it was now up to Ukraine to clean its ports of mines and resume grain supplies. Russia's defense ministry portrayed the pullout from Snake Island as a goodwill gesture and an endeavor to provide a humanitarian corridor for the transfer of agricultural items, such as grain from Ukraine. Officials in the adjacent port city of Odessa in southern Ukraine claimed that Russian troops had only left after long missile and artillery attacks by Ukrainian forces.